Welcome all. Good afternoon from Turkey. I don't know where you are all located at, but thank you all for joining us today. And we will going to discuss the most exciting element of the mobile gaming industry, which is ad creators. My name is Ece Bahtiyar, and I will be delighted for being a moderator of this session. So maybe we should start with knowing our panelists a little bit better with their names and like what they are doing and stuff. So let's start with Renata.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Renata Ravilova from UGC Ninja. I'm more responsible for the PR and community side. We also do a lot of vlogging during the gaming events, so I communicate with people a lot and gather the insights for your growth. So that's the main point. And of course, you just see creatives.
Yay. So what about you, Emre? Can you give a couple of sentences?
Yeah, hello. I am working at Leka Games as a publishing manager. What I do is actually connect with studios and help them with the producing side, also the creative side. It's really fun to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Nice to see you all.
Thanks, Social Peta, again for organizing it. And yeah, I hope that it will be a really great, informative session. So let's continue with Tunahan.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank all of the attendees and our panelists here. I'm the business development manager at Social Peta. I have been working as a business development manager at Social Peta for more than 2 years. Social Peta is an ad intelligence tool. We provide ad creative data, ad intelligence data to mostly game publishers and game developers. So this is just a quick introduction of myself, and I hope it will be a great panel discussion.
Yeah, hoping so too. So Kana.
Hello, my name is Kana, and I'm working for Tenjin for more than 5 years now. I'm mainly focusing on helping self-publishing studios do user acquisition and understand the data, plan out their data stacks. So we focus mostly on providing data analytics for data-driven decision-making and growth.
Amazing. Thank you. Dina?
Hi, I'm Dina, and I'm a marketing manager at Zimad. Zimad is a mobile game development company, and I work on creatives and creative strategy for most of our products. It's very nice to see you, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, same wise, same wise. Then let's start. So my first question will be for each panelist to be answer it. And so it starts like that. In the highly competitive mobile gaming industry, why do you believe ad creatives are super crucial for the success of marketing strategies, especially for the mobile games? And additionally, what kind of changes have you observed for the development of the ad creatives through the days, months, or years? So Renata, do you want to start?
Yes, happy to start. First of all, I was the only one who didn't say that I'm happy to be here, and thanking Social Peta for organizing.
Are you happy?
Or am I?
I can see that. Yeah, thanks.
I love the opportunities to be on a spotlight, you know, let's be honest. But yeah, talking about this interesting question, first of all, I wanted to divide it into two parts. I think first one is we see a lot that user acquisition game in general changing a lot. So, for example, cheap installs and low quality users are not cutting it anymore. So companies are going for more quality users with better LTV, right, and better engagement in their products, especially if we talk about the games. So this is the first thing. And the second thing is that it's getting harder and harder to track the user acquisition, right, outcomes, especially with post-IDFA and etc. So I'd say now this kind of jobs relies on the on the creatives production and the creatives in general. So the job of the creators becomes to attract, first of all, more high quality users with a longer LTV, right? And also kind of, you know, do the creatives the way that to attract the right audience to your games and products as well. And in terms of the trends, one of the obvious ones, of course, it's AI, which is, I think everybody already talked about it so much. There's a lot of AI implementing into the production cycle, as well as, you know, to do the creatives faster, easier, and cheaper, of course. And also even creating a real person avatars, that kind of stuff. So I would say AI is not limited, not limiting, I would say, production of creatives in general. Also, I see interesting trends incorporating different types of creatives together. For example, like playables plus UGC, and also I see them being tested also not only on TikTok and UGC in general, for example, but even on other platforms like AdMob, Unity, Integral, which is a bit surprised because previously UGC performed only on TikTok or on other socials. So I would say, yeah, that's for now what I'm noticing in general. And also one more thing, yeah, just forgot to say, it's incorporating in the paid marketing organic social trends, I would say. You know, for example, street talk interviews, as we talk about UGC, like kind of get ready with me trends, demure trend, that kind of stuff, everything that is trending on organic, incorporating it into the paid marketing as well. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's quite exciting. And it's like summertime. It's the time that actually people are reducing their screen time. So this much of, and we are still seeing a new trends, like as you said, demure trends, like broad summer trend, or like hugging AI trend, where you hug your, you know, something maybe like your childhood or like deceased parent or stuff. Even the like mushrooms that turn into penguins, like this kind of captivating creators that conducted by AI. So I'm really excited to see what kind of trends we will see like for this month and the next month, where it will like emerge more and more, I believe, since the screen times will be increase since summer is over. Sad face, but yeah. So what
Well, I
about
would say, I just wanted, as you mentioned, the trends, right, and ending summer, I would, you know, recommend to prepare for the Christmas season, because, you know, the marketing will be very expensive closer, so you get to prepare early.
yes, exactly. Time to spend some money. What about you, Emre?
I think Renata explained it really well. What I'm gonna say different is actually what we do in our development cycle in the creative arts. We created some kind of a document for ourselves by using Social Pet actually. What we do is we create some branches and tags for the creatives, so we can go to the end users and try to figure out which tags are working really well, which genres, which themes, or which gameplay videos are working really well. It helped us on improving our CPIs. But as you mentioned, the trends are really important. So you need to be keeping updating yourself really much. And of course, the AI is helping us really much. So it's very easier and cheaper for you to create new creatives and try to figure out many different themes instead of just trying to work on one theme. You can create an AI tool and create many more themes instead of just trying one. So it's getting faster and easier for you to try out. So the cost will be going to be increasing because of that. But in addition, you can try much more and try to figure out the end user really well.
Yeah, like while you're maybe increasing the money cost, you are dimming the time cost. So
Yeah.
it can be like another plus. And
Yeah.
what are your thoughts, Kana, on it?
Yes, so from my side, I talk to a lot of studios that are self-publishing in general. And then, so they're usually looking for a really good idea to make it into a prototype and then like publish and invest lots of money into it, right? So In the prototype choosing cycle, the creative testing is really, really important. Because you're going to create the creative even before developing the first prototype, right? So if you do it well, and then because of the quality of the creative, you're going to be able to decrease the cost of the CPI, and then also have higher conversion rates, and then click-through rates. And these are the signals that you're looking for a good prototype. So if these signals are good and you have a good creative, then it's an okay sign to go ahead and make the first prototype and then a couple of levels, and then you can look at retention rates, day one, etc. Right? So like this creative is really the start of the process, extremely important. And the trends that I've been seeing lately, as everybody mentioned, is of course the use of AI. So it's a great brainstorming tool, and also it's helping with the keeping the cost down for production, right, of creatives. And recently I've also come across an example of someone using an AI tool to improve the creatives itself. So it's going to say like, you know, your creative is going to perform better based on like creative data if you make the background blue instead of red, for example. And it's really interesting. I can't wait to see all of the developments.
Yeah, lots of tests coming, and like it's really interesting developments. Tunahan?
First of all, Renata, Emre, and Kana have shared very great insights. From my perspective, yes, ad creatives play a vital role in the success of marketing strategies for mobile games. First of all, ad creatives are often the first touch point between a mobile game, a potential user. So if you have a very visual appealing and engaging creative, you can have grab attention, and when you grab an attention, you can have more users. And the importance of ad creatives are very important. For example, with ad creatives, you can make like localization, creatives allow marketers to tailor different audiences. For example, with data-driven insights, and creatives can be personalized according to user preferences, behavior, and demographics. And ad creatives also has storytelling elements. For example, with ad creatives, you cannot just show an ad creative or your product. You can also make an ad creative with storytelling and emotional engagement. So, for example, if you have some story, like drama story in your ad creative, maybe you can bound an emotional connection between your potential user and with your game. So those are some importance of ad creatives, why you have ad creatives, what their importance. And there are some specific changes in the ad creatives, especially in the last years. And as Social Peta, we have seen that we have seen more data-driven ad creatives in the market. For example, ad creatives development has much more data-driven, and marketers heavily rely on performance metrics to optimize their creatives. And because as Social Peta, we have seen that in the market, there are more advertisers in the last years, but there are less ad creatives in the market. So ad creatives are have much more quality than before. And you have to come up with a good ad creative to attract your audience. And there are also other effects like cost. If you don't have a good ad creative, it will cost you. I'm not mentioning this, but especially in the last couple of years, ad creatives are really better than the previous ones. And there is also a technology side from this. For example, with the 5G technology and with the fast speed internet, we started seeing more video ad creatives and with very high quality creatives. And with the rise of social media like TikTok and Instagram, it also influenced a shift in ad creatives. For example, we started to see more dynamic video content thanks to these platforms, and there are more video creatives in the market. And these creatives can showcase gameplay, characters, and storylines. And when a potential user see those kind of things, it is more likely that your user will download your game. And lastly, I can tell you that AI and automation has become very important. For example, especially with the AI rise, we have seen as social beta that image creatives impressions have started to increase because, for example, in the market, there are lots of AI generated image creatives and they really attract audiences. And this AI technology for ad creatives is just beginning, and in the future we will see more. And this is what I wanted to cover. And as I told you, Emre, Renat, and Kana have covered also many important aspects in ad creatives.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was like great insights. And Dina, I know like it is really difficult to be answering this question as a last one because it seems like everything is covered, but it is not because you are working in ZMAT and we are really curious about your opinions.
Yeah, I think in the times when the game market is overwhelmed and people have so many options to choose from, it's really important for publishers to stand out and catch their attention. And this can actually be done with ad creatives and also with the tendency of stores' privacy policies, which limit the targeting process. Creatives are something that we still can control. We can choose how to demonstrate the core of a product, how to show how we differ from the competitors, and demonstrate how we can help users solve their pain points. For example, get them relaxed, interact with other players, so on. So basically, creatives are the way for us to communicate with our potential users. Among the changes, I should say that creatives now become probably more sophisticated and longer in duration. And that's probably thanks to the rise of multiple AI tools, which speed up the process of ad development. For example, even narrative creatives, which with complex animation of characters, which previously were so expensive and longer in production, now take less time and effort. And you can make various creatives with generated songs, with generated voiceovers, localized creatives in multiple languages in a short period of time. And that's thanks to AI tools. So yeah, AI is definitely a game changer for the game industry.
Yeah, definitely. And it was really good point, by the way, the mentioning the privacy, because for example, in my niche, in our niche, in real money games, privacy and the security is the main thing, and you should be communicating because people are having like real money things there, so they need to trust the developer, and creative is the first part that they are facing it. So it also like AI is good, but all like rather than generating the cumulative impressions, it's also important to have the qualitative, the audience that's loyal and trust the developer, etc. So thank you. So let's jump into a specific question. And my first specific question will be to Emre. And hi, Emre, once again. And so Leke Games has become one of the Turkey's leading mobile game companies, and we are super proud of it. In terms of ad creatives, what kind of strategies you employed to attract and retain such large user base, like given the example of especially for the TDZX, which is Traffic Driving Zone game?
Yeah, it's kind of a different game than the current industry in Turkey, mostly on hyper casual and hybrid games. What we focused on was a racing game, and we knew that the racing game could be a good fit for us. And first thing we do back in 1.5 years ago was to try some creatives for the game. What we did is actually just create simple environment and try to figure out it is going to be working or not. And we see that the users are really liking the racing games, whether you are playing any racing or not. But when you see the creatives, if it can give you some feeling that you are being kind of taken to the game. So we have worked on it, and what I say earlier in the social beta account, which we created some different branches to figure out the tags and what kind of gameplay is working. We did it on the TDS, and it worked fine. What I see is actually back in 2019, it was the creatives should be more simplified, because it was more hyper casual games, and you need to show to the user that in the first 3 seconds the user should understand the game. But right now people consume fast and consume more, but you need to give them some kind of feeling in the creative, and you want to take them inside your game. That's why with the AI tools it's easier, but it's being in the end of the creative developer actually, because you need to give to the feeling of the game. What we did is actually focused on the feelings inside the creatives, and whether if it is the creative is same with the game or not. It's really important for the creatives and the retention side, by the way. If you are working on a creative that does not match with the users inside the game, then it's not going to be very fun for you to watch the data. But if you are going for this lower CPIs, yes, you can try that, but it's not going to be very pleasant for you if you are working for the retention metrics, for example.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a detailed and transparent answer. By the way, I see that like we are having some like questions to be answered, and we will have a Q&A part after finishing all the specific questions, and we have one last question for each panelist, and then we will jump into the Q&A. So second question will be to Renata. Renata, UGC Ninja is renowned for its expertise in leveraging UGC ads, UGC-like ads, to be like more specific and general within the mobile game industry. Could you discuss the key differences between traditional marketing approaches and versus like UGC-like ads? What are the essential elements that makes ad creatives successful?
Well, thank you for noticing that UGC Ninja are experts in UGC-like ads. That was my job to do, you know, to get association.
So you are doing your PR part good.
Of course. Yeah, thank you. So one of the things, first of all, of course, what we consider like a traditional marketing or not traditional marketing, I would maybe mostly focus on UGC-like ads in general. Let's just go through briefly the main parts that are pretty known, I guess, to most of the people. So UGC-like ads is user-generated content like ads. So it's kind of content that involves a real person, kind of your user, right, sharing the experience, which is not usually the true, because well, that's how marketing works. Well, actually, how even companies came up with this format, right? So companies notice that customers' reviews really bring sales, but sometimes it's really complicated to ask your customers or players and etc. to write a review or even film themselves. It's almost sometimes impossible. Especially gamers, they're sometimes very shy, and to be on an ad, it can be catastrophic. So that's how companies like ours, they came up with a solution where it gives the opportunity to share the customer experience just through other people's words. So you kind of understand your core features of your product, how to highlight it, and etc. And we just do the ads for you. We have, like, for example, creators around the world, and we can do in any language and etc. So one of the things that this also solves a problem of targeting, right? Because maybe if you do like a general marketing or user acquisition with the banner, you can attract a broad audience. But if you want to have a more high quality and more specific audience, you put on the creator that will resonate more with your product, and so you will attract the more specific audience to your product through the creator and the concept, of course. Also, sometimes it's cheaper, even though AI right now in the place, right? Sometimes it's more expensive to film with the real person rather than to get an AI. AI is great, and I think it's, especially for the initial tests, it's more than enough to get started and understand what is actually performing or what type of creator can perform for you. Because especially in gaming, I would say you need to know like what kind of creator will resonate with your audience. Like, is it image of the girl next door, kind of homey vibe, or etc., or maybe it's a crazy sexy Latina that should be on the screen to attract your audience. So yeah, that's one other thing. Of course, I do think maybe there is, we'll see how this will evolve in general, but implementing this organic strategies to the paid marketing and combining these strategies together, I think it really drives more results to the user acquisition in general. I think it also brings up more trust, because people tend to trust people and people, like kind of, especially opinion leaders and etc. So when you see somebody is telling that they really love this game, or maybe their grandma got hooked and etc., you kind of still tend to believe that it might be true, and you need to try it out as well. And of course, the combination, it's not only the creator who works, of course, on the creatives of UGC, but also it's a combining of, for example, key features or key gameplays that you want to show and that really resonates, plus the person. It's kind of a great combination that I personally also love a lot. And of course, it brings up the engagement from the community side as well. And yeah, the maybe more clear messaging. Yeah. And in terms, yeah, you also one more question, right? What are the key elements of successful ad? Here I will just answer briefly. There are three main parts that everybody I think knows. It's a hook, body, and CTA. So clear messaging about what you have, clear call to action. Don't be afraid to actually, tell people what to do, because sometimes they're in the cloud of this social and etc. They don't really act if you don't tell them what to do. Marketing again, guys. And of course, maybe more emotional connections. And yeah, don't forget about the platform optimization, humor, and yeah, of course, testing. There is no silver bullets, even in the UGC like ads. So you just need to test and see what performs the best for you, and then leverage on that. That's
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much. And actually, like, I am also thinking the same. And nowadays, we are seeing lots of AI is coming, but it's really important that we have the human touch there. So, and we are experiencing that human-like or real human-used images sometimes works better. And especially if you're showing your app, there's a like maybe real human finger indexing and giving some directions. It creates like better hook, I believe, and especially for the CTA, if you put like install now and a little bit like click sound, it will be like maybe like work for some,
Yeah.
can work for all. So why not test it?
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. They're
Um,
always like, okay, just
no, no,
wanted to say
no,
there's
go,
always like
please.
little tricks you can use to enhance your like ads, like that it will feel more human. Even for example, if it's voiceover and etc., you can make it like more like a humanized, and still gets better results than just, for example, a gameplay. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. So Tunahan, my question is for you. So Social Peta has conducted really important research about like on ad creatives. Could you provide specific suggestions for our attendees that they can say, okay, I attended a webinar and I learned this, and it was like really info that you can you can PR yourself, PR your knowledge. So let's give something juicy from that significant research. And you can also maybe suggest on like some trendy ad creatives in mobile game industry, and what kind of like advertising strategies they are using and we should use.
Okay. Thank you, Ece. It's a very nice question. I guess I will try to cover many aspects. First of all, I heard Renata and from Emre, they shared very great insights, and it's very nice to hear that Leke Games, Emre is leveraging social beta for ad creatives. I wanted to tell you first this because they are using very actively, and he pointed out this, and I'm very glad that social beta is helping them with their marketing. For your question, yes, there are some strategies for each specific game genre. Maybe I can tell you specifically for each game genre. It depends on what kind of game genre you have. You may have maybe casino games, maybe you may have casual games. There are some marketing ad creative strands according to each game genre. For example, first of all, I may mention a little bit about SLG, simulated life games genre, ad creatives. This game genre is mostly using mini games in their ad creatives, and they are also adapting eye-catching drama, live-action sitcoms. They heavily rely on those things. This is very different from casual games because SLG games in their ad creatives, they adapt a lot of real-life scenarios like dramas, and then with these dramas, they implement these events into their games, and it creates a very good bond. And I should also tell you that SLG games in the market are very high quality games, and they are doing very great. And this also applies to their ad creatives. Their ad creatives are also very high quality ad creatives. Looking from for example, if you have an RPG game, role play game, what kind of ad creatives are popular? With AI technology, we have seen that image creatives were created a lot in RPG games. And especially in the South Korea, China, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, they contributed the highest percentage of RPG new creatives, and RPGs were very popular among local people. So image creatives have been used a lot in for RPG creatives. If you have a simulation game creative, it depends. For example, in simulation games, I'm talking mainly about the scene simulation and business performance display. In these ad creatives, we have seen a lot of failure. For example, in ad creatives, there's a failure at the end, and the game wants you to correct the failure by downloading the game. So when there's a failure, users want to download the game and correct the failure. So this is one of the strategies used by simulation game genres. And mostly advertising of casual and puzzle games perspective. This is also one of the important game genre because accounting for nearly 80% of Android game advertisers are casual and puzzle games. In this game genre, for example, I mentioned that SLG games heavily rely on dramas or short stories, but these casual and puzzle games ad creators are heavily relied on for example, they show their gameplay and they wanna give this message that you can play my game like this. You can see more elements from their original game. This was different, opposite in SLG games. In these ad creatives, we can see also failure, deliberate failure in order to grab people's interest. And we can see live action virtual reality video shows. And lastly, I want to tell you about casino games. Casino games ad creatives heavily rely on cash, as we see from their name, casino, because if you download a casino game, you want to earn, you want to get some prize, and they heavily rely on showing cash. For example, in their ad creatives, they start showing cash to you in the first 3 or 4 seconds to attract your attention. So you want to download the game of the casino game because when you see cash in the first, it creates an attraction. So this is pretty much how different game genres adopt a different ad creative strategy. It depends on each game genre you are specifically using. And in the market, we have seen that we have started to see a lot of playable ad creatives. This is like try before you buy experience. Because when you check, when you see playable ads, you also see a mini part from the game and you try a little bit And if you like the experience of playable ads, you start to download the game. So it's a very useful strategy, playable ads, like engagement ad creatives. And in the first question, I also mentioned story-driven video ads start to become very popular, especially RPG simulation and strategy games, where narrative immersion is a key part of gameplay experience. And influencer marketing and UGC ads are also gaining popularity. For example, influencer or user-generated content is like social proof and trust, making the game more reliable and for users, for potential users. And meme-based ad creatives are also gaining popularity. What I mean by this, it's like humor. In the ad creatives, they are not just showing you the game. They are also making fun story in their ad creatives. It's like you are sharing a funny video with your friend, and it also creates attraction. There's meme, humor-based story in their ad creatives, and it's like shareable video content. And lastly, I want to tell you, dynamic ads with personalization are also becoming very popular. Dynamic ads allow for hyper-personalization, making the content feel more relevant to individual users. And we have started seeing this trend a lot. And I guess in the future, it will become really dominant in ad creatives as well. I hope I have covered many aspects that are very informative.
Yeah, you did. Actually, when you were talking, like I can match the ads with the thing. Like, for example, when you mentioned about like deliverable failure. So
Yes.
maybe, yeah, you can even like easily imagine that like a girl is looking like really dirty, smelling. There's a like green fog around her, like hair is mess, and there's a mustache and everything, and then there's a door is ringing. There's a like her love of her life is waiting at the door. So what she do like, is it there's a shower and there's a like wax and stuff, and there's a scissor, and ads pointing immediately to a scissor and getting the haircuts, and you can like, no, you missed it. And but yeah, like, so, and actually I wanted to save this question to Q&A part, but it was on chat and I think it's really related. Thanks, Mustafa Said, for the question. He is asking about like, what can you say about hyper casual games with clickbait ads? There are many games in this genre with unrealistic ads, and some of which dominate the platform. How accurate is this type of advertising strategy? I think it's like super dangerous. Like it doesn't need to be like that, and we have many example of this kind of ads getting immediately violated the policy of the server, and then gets like removed from the store. Apple is like more careful about this, and we can see that like our CPPs in Apple searches or like PPOs or in-app events is easily like gets rejected. However, in the other platforms, it's kind of like a little bit more reflexed. However, because of the privacy and people are become more aware of the user, like I think they are started to speak up and deliver the, how can I say, the unhappiness about this clickbait ads. They are easily reporting more and more, and it will affect right away your ASO success, right away your like success rate in that platform. So for my opinion, it should be immediately like run away. However, you can use the aspects that this clickbait ads are showing, like use the voiceover, not TikTok voiceover, but use a like British man voiceover, or use a like minority model rather than just having a Victoria's Secret model. That kind of like interesting aspects and trendy aspects can make the difference. Is there anyone who would like to reply Mustafa's question, answer? No? I hope I
think
covered.
I think you
many
answered
more
pretty
are
well.
related.
Okay.
It's a
I
deep
really like
conversation.
it's a question that I received a lot as well, and it's not worth it. Like just for a couple of thousand more impression, and like can kill your app success permanently. And the trust is not easy thing to build, so why just
Yeah.
trash it?
If you are in the studio and trying to use the clickbait ads, but if you have a huge partner, yeah, you can do that. But if you are an indie, it's not a way to go, I guess.
Thinking the same, yeah. Okay then. Dina, my question is for you. At Zimat, you are not only help the games, but also you are not help the games get published, but also developed many fascinating games yourselves. And in your experience, what do you believe the key element is acquiring more users for a newly published mobile game through creative utilization of ad creatives? We have many indies now among the attendees. I think everybody is waiting for this answer.
Thank you. The key element for any newly launched product is to have a creative strategy that's working particular for your product. It should cover the core of your game, your brand positioning, your brand messaging, and of course, your user persona. And I should say that both creative strategy and product development itself should be centered around your user persona and their motivations. When creating an ad, keeping the following questions in mind really helps. What is the purpose of this creative? What is the core motivation being triggered here in this creative? And what do we want our user to feel and do while watching this ad? At ZMAD, we have a knowledge base. We know what's working for our product, what's not working. We keep an eye on what our competitors are doing, just general market trends and patterns. And in our creatives, we focus on showing our core mechanics and showing how our users can satisfy their pain points such as relaxation, escapism, and creativity expression. So that's what we focus on, and that's 80% of our creative strategy for any newly launched product. However, in the system, it's really important to stay flexible. So we leave some room for imagination and experiments, and that's the remaining 20% of our creative strategy. Current cultural trends, just our experience and some ideas that pop up in our heads, they can actually be a base for a new hypothesis that will eventually turn into another successful creative.
Yeah, sorry about it. Did I mention that it's my first time to being a moderator and stuff? Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
Was really
doing great, just amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's thanks to you guys. Like I feel like we are chatting about my favorite topic. So, by the way, just before going to Kanal's question, I would like to mention that to the attendees, you can drop your LinkedIn profiles here for networking, for exchanging ideas and stuff. Please feel free to post your LinkedIn link on the chat. Okay, let's jump to Kana. Kana, I have a little bit long question for you, but I'm sure you can really wreck it because I know you're really successful in Tenjin as well, and so can't wait. In today's highly competitive mobile gaming markets, we know that user acquisition is a headache, but there's also like retention. These two are critical challenges. And as the expert of in this field, like what kind of essential strategies or golden rules to avoid, like to racket, let's say, to user acquisition specifically, and also for the retention, what kind of particularly important elements for the ad creatives? And maybe we can later hear more like how kind of these strategies evolved year by year. And what would you recommend for the emerging entrepreneurs in the mobile gaming industry?
Yeah, so that's a mouthful. I will try to answer. I hope I can cover all of it.
I believe.
Yeah, so basically, like in user acquisition and in mobile gaming marketing, you're not just focusing on user acquisition. It's not about CPIs anymore. It's more about profitability and measuring the profitability, right? Because, you know, like a lot of studios, as you know, is like failing, closing their doors. So yeah, profitability is the main focus right now. So the golden rules would be to have a really good testing routine and for the prototypes, right? Because you want to be able to trust the data that you have acquired after you're spending so much money. If it's not like a clear A/B test and CPI is reliable, then you would have to do it again and spend more money, right? Another like aspect is after the testing is done and you found like a prototype, and when you're just like soft launching, I guess, to have like a creative dashboard. So the creative dashboard is different in a way that it consolidates all of your creative data into one dashboard. So you don't have to go to like different ad networks, seeing all the winning creatives in each different ad networks. You would actually be able to see the winning creative in across all of the ad networks, right? And not just about the creative part, you will also see which creatives resulted in the highest cohort LTV. So like our main goal is the LTV here, right? And as Emre mentioned, you know, like tagging creatives is really important to categorize like what type of creatives are winning here and which type of creatives are winning like in each specific ad networks. For example, TikTok has a very different requirement for a creative than like Facebook users, right? And also at the same time, even if a user came in seeing the same ad, it can be that they have like a different LTV because they came from different ad networks. So like being able to customize the user experience based on like, okay, which creative did they see and which campaign did they come from and what, you know, ad network are they seeing? It's also really important. So we call this live optimization. So this is kind of a tool where you can like in split seconds get all this information and then customize the experience so that you can get more from the user, I guess. If, for example, a user is coming with a very low CPI, then maybe you can just afford to show them a rewarded ad and get away with it, right? But if you've acquired the user for very expensive CPI, then you will, it's better to offer like higher, you know, purchase, in-app purchases. So it's crucial for your ROI. Another thing that we have to remember is that it's called creative for a reason, right? So like we try to standardize the process and everything, but at the same time, like it has to have like a creative aspect. So don't forget that and keep it simple.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much, Kana. So my last question, and then we will jump to the Q&A part. It will be for everyone, will be asked, and to keep it short, like I got asked to reply it with one sentence, but rather than doing this, let's play a game. I I will say, okay, reply this question without saying AI. Okay? So, my panelists, how do you envision the future evolution of advertisements in the mobile gaming industry? And you cannot say AI. And I can have like, it's just joke, but like I have a 1 or 2 sentences.
Cool game.
Should I start in the order or?
Yeah, Renata, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, I would even say in two, omni-channel marketing. For what I mean by that is a combination of organic approaches and paid marketing. I think that's the future, like, doing not only one channel, but actually building a system. That's it. No AI.
Amazing.
How
I'm
you're
really
going to do
impressed.
that's another question.
Yeah. And I can promise you all, like they didn't know about this, and I just drop it here. So yeah, Emre, do you have any? I think you can say AI. Wait, like.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say something different. What I see, I hear from Kana is actually a great entrance for me, because the live ops team is going to be changing, I guess, because of the creatives. In next years, probably we will play the same game, but in different experiences because of the live ops optimization, because we know where the user come from, we know how much is going to be using, the how much is going to be able to use inside our game, how much we can profit from him. So he will be seeing those kind of numbers inside his game. Those kind of algorithms which big companies use that can track your data and see that how much money you can use in that game or how many ads you can see. So they're going to be pushing you to watch more ads or cost more. So it's going to be changing in that way, in my opinion. But if the users can create some kind of different gameplay uh, iterations in themselves, for example, there was a game called Silent Hill, if anyone knows. Uh, and they did this. If a player is playing the game first time and is shooting from the heads of the enemies, the game makes itself a little bit harder for the user to finish the game, because they know the user is experienced and it's going to be much harder for him next time. That's what I'm talking about. If you are playing the game and you are watching more ads, probably there will be more ads. But if you are watching less ads, probably there will be less ads. Perhaps the users can do that.
Yeah, like everybody's trying to reduce their screen time, and dummy phones are getting back to the market.
Yeah.
So I even see the Barbie phone like as a dummy phone, and yeah, it's a nice Christmas gift, by the way, to just for announcing. Okay, Kana?
I would like to make two predictions. So first is good news for all advertisers is that in the near future, you won't have to localize creatives to different genres or genders per se. We know why, due to the word. And the next thing is that the Playable Ads 2.0, which is you wouldn't have to install the game to watch an ad or make purchases. So basically, that's really good news also for us advertisers, because the cost of install is very, very expensive, and the user need to go to the App Store and then click install and then open the app again, right? It's just better if we just show the ad and at the same time show them again an ad within the playable ad, and then like they can just keep playing and do like an in-app purchase. So I'm really looking forward to these changes.
Yeah. Same, to be honest. Dina, are you here or?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, my camera just switched
No.
off.
No worries.
Yeah, answering the question. Yeah, answering the question, I think that the competition will be growing without any doubt. So many publishers will want to stand out. Maybe the creators will become more cinematic, will be more sophisticated, or maybe some publishers will decide to go to basics and just shoot some gameplay videos, which are very raw, and this is the way for them to stand out. So yeah, I think that more companies will have a limited number of ads of high quality thanks to something we can say. So yeah, this will add up to the competition I mentioned earlier. But in general, we'll all have to become more resourceful and strategic to make the excellent creatives that work.
Yeah, definitely. And Tuna?
Yeah, I think everyone has covered many great aspects. Maybe I can just tell one point. Maybe ad formats in the future. What I think in the future that, for example, we will see more ads in the gameplay. For example, we call this advert gaming. You are playing a game, but you are still seeing advertising. For example, imagine you are playing a racing game and there are billboards. While you are playing the game, you will see advertisement. And those kind of ads will gain popularity, I guess. Or maybe it can be an example like you are playing a cooking game, and while you are using food, that you will see brands and it will be another way of advertising, I guess. In the future it will be become more common, and I guess especially with the rise of high quality games in the future, I expect to see this a lot. And this is all pretty much. I hope I didn't say AI.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you all. Actually, you did a great job without saying AI or artificial intelligence. You could have said it, but you didn't. So amazing. And my prediction for the future evolution, it's so like past years, it was one trendsetter and trend followers, two trendsetter, trend followers. But nowadays, like the ratio is growing, and like due to many materials and like the cost of the creating creatives are dropping and stuff. And also, the trick is the trends in the social media reflecting on the gaming industry is the time frame is shrinkage. So what I mean is when you see a trend in TikTok, you were going to see it in like mobile gaming advertisement probably like in 6 months or stuff like in past years if the trend was persisting. But nowadays, it's like even they are like the many developers are creating an app like just for this Instagram trend, maybe hug trend, maybe just like clean girl aesthetic trend, that kind of trend. So I'm expecting that this trans reflection on the apps will be like the time will be really shrinkaged, although the computers, the AI will like we see more and more human aspect will increase, and human models that's going to represent the minorities, not just like hetero looked white men or white woman that white men would like will not covered, but also the other aspects like with the small maybe small deforms like the real human teeth, with real human eyes, maybe like a bald guy, like those kind of models will also increase in the gaming ads because it is giving more genuine, more real look. So let's jump into the Q&A section. I will try to look in the chat, but please feel free to drop it to Q&A part. So let's see what we will have here. Comments and okay. Mohammed has a question saying that I wonder, besides the creatives, generally, how do you optimize channels to get better users regarding the ROAS and LTV? That's an interesting question. So besides the creatives, how do you optimize the channel? Like it's based on your KPIs. So if your channel is Apple search ads and you want to optimize the ROAS, like what's your secondary and third KPIs? Is it CPI? Is it cost per action that you are tracking for? Is it purchase event? Or you just want to increase the retention? So like if besides the creatives, if we are talking about the keywords, let's change it then. Like, you know, you bid and then if cost is high, you change it, or you maybe dim the bid or increase the bid and stuff. If I couldn't answer it properly, please rewrite again. If I misunderstood, I'm sorry in advance.
I can give some sense about this question. So the way that the way to optimize ad networks right now is to feed it more data. So now everything is automated, and then you send them a callback of your LTVs at revenue data and in-app purchases and custom events, and then basically the ad network optimizes to acquire more users that are already gaining you bucks. So yeah, it's all about feeding the machine and then letting it do its job.
Yeah, but I think you should separate the networks in order to understand the LTV and the ROAS.
Yeah, definitely. Kana, by the way, Jennifer has a question for you. She saw on the market some BI tool that supports Game Studio to have deeper data. What do you think?
Deeper data, do you mean like so like with Tengen, we build things on top of like raw data, right? So it can be raw data from your like MMP, and then like Firebase and App Store, everywhere, and then you can connect all of them together and then build the dashboard that you want. So like that can give you more insight into like a specific thing that you're looking for, rather than just a dashboard of a specific platform.
Yeah. She is also asking that the AI stuff, do you think in the market any tool that can analyze the creatives? So
yeah, so the recent one that I heard was Allison AI, that is also giving recommendations on how to improve your creatives.
I hope it's answered Jennifer's question. So let's scroll down. Please post your LinkedIn for the connections, by the way. So I finished the chat box. Let's jump into the Q&A. Ahmed has a question in context of indie gaming. Experiment with AB in creatives again and again, they said, but sometimes even AI touch-ups fail to return a result-oriented conversion. So what should be the frequency of the experience, and what should be the pivot point, or without any primary conditions like crazy testing, because it burns off the budget as well. So what is the key in finding balance? I think it's a great question. Oh. Yeah, we can understand it's a great question.
I think there's some kind of a gut inside the answer, because there's no right or wrong in this. Finding balance is really hard. You need to find your budget, and you need to figure out how many tests you can do in 1 year, perhaps. And you need to figure out the trends and where you can use them inside your game. If you can sell the watermelon in winter, you can sell it. But if it's summer, it's going to be easy for you to sell it.
Yeah, it's a great answer. Barfu replied on it, and I think that's it. So I think Nuria's question you already answered, Emre, but just to voice it out here as well. Due to the the need to stand out, I believe that mobile game studios are not yet giving the necessary attention to the role of creative strategist or creative producer who combines the data and the creative ideas to capture audience attention. As a creative producer, I see that this is still a secondary consideration during hiring. What do you think? I am really agreeing with Nuria. I think this is like overseen position. However, like all the companies, almost all the companies from the like their managers, they're expecting to nourish their designers with the ideas and stuff, but it's actually belongs to another title. So is there any comment to this question, guys?
Yes, in the first question, I told you it's the like first touch point between your potential user and your game. So creatives are really crucial, and I absolutely agree with Emre's answer. So it's very crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need to find the right studio or the publisher for that, because you don't know whether they need a creative producer or not, and they might not need it actually, because it is a really, as you mentioned, it's a different title. So you need to be coming to that part in order to need to that title. If you don't need that title, so they won't look for it. But yeah, that's a problem. People should be more considering this to figure out the person, to look for the data and try to figure out the ways you can use them.
Yeah.
I think in more time, it's going to be solved.
Mm-hmm. I am also thinking that because like even my title is an episode chats manager, like when you go there and it was under the like user acquisition manager or paid social media thing. However, ASO is like organic channel. And nowadays we are seeing more and more listing. It's also like being aware of the need, and while competition increase, you are more aware of the need. And I'm thinking that like we are seeing more and more new roles emerged. By the way, if for the panelists, if you are looking for a new opportunity, please drop it to the chat and let's connect and let's try to see if we can help you. Because in this sector, we should be like really tight together and just let the brightest one win. So yeah, that was the final question. Thank you all for attending. It was really nice, and I'm really happy to have my first experience with you. It was really fun and insightful. It was not boring webinar. Maybe maybe it was because I was talking, but for me it was not boring. And actually, I learned some stuff. So thank you so much.
I think there's one more question, if you
Oh,
would
is
like
it?
to.
Sorry.
Okay.
From Jennifer. Your team has sharing about automation and also creative stuff, but I saw that a lot UA team and creative team take a lot time to make these manual tasks. Do you know any tool that can support this which feature automation? Is it to you, Kana, or I didn't understand, Jennifer?
Yes. So if you're talking about automation, so like we do with the Grow Full Stack, automated data sets joining. So you don't have to like do the data engineering work. So basically, if you want to like fetch all of the creative data from all the different ad networks and then tag them to be the same and connect it with the attribution data to see the LTV. So we're doing this out of the box. So you just need to select the ad networks that you want, and then put in the dashboard will be readily available. So this is kind of like an automation that we are offering. And also another automation that you might be mentioning is the sending of like data to the ad network to run ROS campaigns. So this is an automation on the ad network's part that we just support by enabling a callback and tracking all the ad revenues. So I know this is a lot of info, just to say, like, we do a lot of things to make your lives simpler.
You know what? It was amazing. I think you covered everything. Yeah. Thank you guys once again. Have a great rest of day and week. Captain, it's still Wednesday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Have a
Bye.
great
Have a
day.